She's going to give us, she's going to give us lots of great tips. All right, first though, interior decorator Jennifer Reid says you don't have to break the bank to create a gorgeous look. You can use your existing pieces to create a space that you love.
This makeover is really a study in changing everything without changing a thing. And by that, I mean working with what you have. Most of the items in this room were here when we got here. We just gave some of them a new face. The biggest item we repurposed in this room was the rug. It's a beautiful Aubusson that my client did not want to part with, and yet she felt that it made the room a bit dark and dreary. So instead of pulling out the obvious colors in the rug, the red and the taupe, I really tried to pull out the gray, cream, and yellow for a lighter and fresher feel. The sofa was in good proportion to the room, in good shape and not very old, so we decided to reupholster it in this soft, comforting gray fabric. Now there were quite a few wood pieces in the room, so we decided to take a lot of them out. We kept the wood chairs. They have an interesting shape and scale, so we reupholstered them in two fabrics, gray and cream, to lighten their impact. We did opt for new draperies, this beautiful cream linen. That, along with some other new accessories, the mirrored top side tables and the glass coffee table, really helped to give the client that lighter, fresher feel she was looking for. When deciding what to keep and what to let go of, I suggest you look at proportion and functionality. If a piece is uncomfortable, don't bother spending the money to reupholster it. But with a little TLC and a lot of fabric, it's amazing what you can do to upholstered goods. In the dining room, we also decided to keep this beautiful Aubusson rug. It was a large purchase that my client did not want to have to make again. We did, however, change everything else. The dining room before was quite cluttered with my client's many china and silverware sets. By giving her this new dining room hutch, we were able to give her the storage she required, as well as opening up the room for entertaining. The client loved the chandelier, so it made sense to keep it. The table, however, we decided to go new. The old one wasn't big enough for family dinner parties and was starting to show its age. This one has beautiful clean lines and expands to seat 10 to 12. When it comes to the dining room chairs, we opted for no more wood, instead choosing a classic Parsons chair with nail head trim not on one side, but both. It beautifully displays the fun lines of the chair. I think so many people are afraid to mix and match in a room. But if there's one thing I can tell you, don't be afraid to branch out. Too many matching items can make a room feel stale. Go ahead, add your personal touch.
Please welcome the talented Jennifer Reid. Hi, sweetheart.
I have to give you a round of applause on that space.
Thank you.
That was absolutely gorgeous. What a transformation. Now, you say the client's name, your client's name was Fern.
Yes.
And the place before, the before pictures of that, basically they just didn't reflect her, right? Because it was dark and heavy?
It was just dark and heavy, and there wasn't a lot of light coming in, and the draperies were very heavy.
Right.
And we just needed to lighten it up. She's a bubbly, outgoing, social person.
And
it just needed to feel lighter and brighter.
Look at that space, though. I mean, you look at that, and that just doesn't feel light and bright. I mean, it really does. It does have a kind of almost like it feels a little bit dark.
Right?
And there was a lot of heavy wood items, wood chairs, wood side tables, wood coffee table. And that, I think, is really what made it feel just a little dreary.
Okay, so what was your mission? Let's start off with what your mission was in there.
So you know what? Some of the furniture was actually really good proportion to the room. The sofa, the two wood chairs. I think the things that we really wanted to get rid of were all the wood pieces. Okay. So we brought in new side tables, a new coffee table, and just lots of light items, glass and mirror, and tried to break up all of the wood.
And you're also talking about it as well, but reupholstering as well, you know? And sometimes a lot of people, you know, sometimes throw out, you know, a good sofa for the wrong reasons.
Do you know what? You spend good money on those pieces, and rather than send them to a landfill, if they're in good proportion and scale to the room, they're comfortable and are in good shape, there is no reason why you can't reupholster.
Okay, let's have a look at the after again, guys, because I just want to say, I want to do the, like, look at that. I mean, it really does. Now, Fern, like you said, it's like so well appointed. It just feels so bright and airy and light. And then it just starts to reflect the personality. How did you decide what to get rid of and what to keep?
So she had really invested quite a bit of money in that rug.
Right.
So at first, first I was a little nervous about it because the colors you would typically pull out would be taupe, red, brown.
All the darker colors.
All the darker colors, right?
Yeah.
Those warmer sort of neutrals. So instead of picking those out, I chose the cream. And there was just a really warm gray in there that gave me the opportunity to go gray instead of brown.
Right.
So, and then our accent color, there was a bit of yellow in there. So gray, cream, and yellow. Way lighter and brighter than the reds.
Let's
and taupe.
wander over to the dining room, because those dining room chairs, you said you custom made those. I think you need to put those on the market. Aren't they beautiful, everyone? Those chairs were spectacular. Let's have a look at the before of the dining room. Again, dark and heavy.
So that's the before. There's a lot going on in that dining room. And then let's see the after now, again,
Look
for the
at
picture.
this.
Doesn't that just fresh? Isn't that lovely? Yeah, it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, everybody, but you're going to stick around. What are you going to do after the break for us?
So we've got a good solid table, but we're going to give it a complete transformation.
I know it's going to be gorgeous because you do good work. You do good work. That's coming up after the break, everybody. I just love that dining room.
Later, DIY beauty that's good enough to eat.
So the gentle scrub will help get it off and exfoliate your lips.
This wouldn't even get to my lips because it's...
Isn't it good?
It's so good.
It's so good.
Back to Jennifer Reid. Okay, Jennifer, this is a great segment because this teaches people if they have something in their space, like say a traditional dining room set, and they want to do something completely different, they don't have to get rid of everything, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so let's take a look at this table before with the traditional chairs that go with it.
It's a nice set.
That's a great looking set, but your client wants what?
Let's say my client wants minimalist industrial.
Right.
So there is absolutely no reason to get rid of the table. You've probably invested good money.
Yeah.
And if it's in good shape, keep it.
Okay, so let's look at the table and let's talk about changing your mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could look at it and say, okay, it's a harvest table. It had ladder back chairs.
Yeah.
Change your mindset. Think of it as reclaimed wood. If you can change your mindset about the table, you can do anything.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know what? And I love the fact that, like you said, it's your mindset. So this table could literally look like anything. You can put it into any sort of decor.
You could go even more modern.
Yes.
Right, you could.
Yeah.
You really could. You could do a really funky chair. You could do a bright rug, pop of art, and then the table would just disappear. But you've got to change your mindset and go there and commit to it.
And the next thing we have to talk about are the chairs, because the chairs to me are fantastic. So before, like if you look at, these were the chairs before, lovely chair.
Ladder back, beautiful. That looks great in a traditional space.
Yeah. And the fact that you use these, blew my mind. I think they're just fantastic.
You know what? To me, they were just sort of a simple, easy chair that disappeared a little bit. It was minimalist, kind of moody.
Yeah,
I think they're sexy, and I love that.
So unexpected.
No, but the only problem with this is now I like to eat in my bathing suit, so if I did that, you know what's going to happen. A little bit of cellulate's going to fall down the bottom of this. I am kidding, I don't need it in my bathing suit.
I didn't choose the most comfortable chair.
You know what? It's shockingly comfortable. Because you don't think that they're going to be comfortable.
I think maybe you'd invest in putting some sort of fun graphic
cushion,
fabric cushion on it.
Nice idea, but they're
you know
great.
I like the idea of this chair, though, because all this detail on the skirt here, you can literally see because the chairs are literally invisible. Yeah,
absolutely.
Brilliant.
Okay, let's talk about the rug, because I do love the rug. And again, see, this is so different than what you did with your client from the first segment. This is more moody. This is more like natural, moody.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love the patchwork feel to this. I actually thought it kind of went really well with the table. That sort of handicraft, harvest. To me, it kind of tied the two feelings together.
Totally. And all the colors, exactly.
Well, blues and browns. You can't go wrong with blue,
Let's
brown,
talk about the artwork, and then you said, like, basically you would pick the wall color last.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The art, again, a little bit moody, picked up on some of the colors in the rug.
Yep.
And again, to me, the art wasn't the focal point. It just sort of needed a little pop.
Beautiful.
Right.
I love this piece of art, actually. This gradation of color is spectacular. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I can say to people, wall color. I chose this absolutely last. I could have gone black, white, off-white, and completely changed the feeling here.
Yeah, totally.
So I think you need to choose all of the elements in your room, the fabrics, the rug, the furniture, everything, and then say, okay, now what works? I wanted gray, but do I still want gray?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's
that's
a
gonna
million
change the
paint
mood.
colors.
And I like the fact, we can all do this at home, mix metals. Right?
Absolutely.
Never ever be tied to if you're chrome or brass or whatever. Mix it all up. You've got some chrome in the light fixture
so
here.
many people say to me, my hardware, should it all be one thing? Should it all be polished chrome or all satin nickel?
Yeah.
No, new.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
Mix
it
it
just
up.
looks like you sort of took it out of a box and put it in your house.
Exactly, as opposed to collected over the years.
Collecting it, exactly. Mixing these metals, I just love. And it sort of picks up again on the metal chairs and the colors and the art.
I think so, Jen. I just think, again, don't be afraid. And don't always think that if you want to change the look completely, you don't have to take everything out of your space and start from new.
Absolutely
Great
not.
information.
Mix
Thank you
it
so
up.
much for being with us today.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Great job, great job. All right, guys, stay with us because after the break, we're going to reveal the best new beauty buys. This is going to be very good.
This is like a helmet.
I love it. Oh, my God. Could you put it? Stand up!
It's like a pin helmet.